Today's video comes from WB Draws, and they asked me for my top 10 most overrated Godzilla films. And this was a really tough list to put together, as I don't feel like there is any major overrated Godzilla film, but after some deliberation, I thought of these 10. Now before we dive in, let me throw out a quick disclaimer. Just because I think a film is overrated does not mean it's bad. Honestly, to be overrated is a good thing. It means a lot of people love it. So please put the pitchforks and torches away. These are just my opinions, and they absolutely should not be taken as fact. We're all in here to have fun and talk about giant monsters. Alright, let's get into it, starting with number 10. Kicking off the list at number 10, we have Godzilla vs. Kong. Look, it's a fun popcorn flick, but for me, it just didn't quite hit the mark. First off, the plot felt like complete nonsense. It was hard to get invested in the human storyline when it felt so convoluted. Secondly, and this is a big one for me, it really felt like a Kong-focused movie. Godzilla the King himself often felt relegated to a side character in his own film. And finally, the Mechagodzilla usage really bugged me. Having him butt into the main fight between Godzilla and Kong just felt like a cheap way to make them friends rather than letting their rivalry play out naturally. At number 8, we have another Showa era film, Invasion of the Astro Monster. My biggest hang-up here is that the Exilians, let's face it, they look silly. Their design just takes me out of the movie every time. And unfortunately, Ghidorah is still not intimidating here. It's a reoccurring issue for me with his early appearances. The final battle is also very quick with not a lot of monster scenes. After all the build-up, you want more kaiju action, and it just doesn't deliver enough. Slipping into number 7 spot is Godzilla vs. Biollante. This one was genuinely hard to put on the list because there's a lot to like. However, one thing that always stands out to me is Godzilla's design is changed from 84. Why did it change? It's a subtle difference, but it's one I'm not a huge fan of. I really wish that they would have kept the 84 design going for a couple more years. And similar to other films on the list, the final battle is over pretty fast. You build up to this awesome clash, and then it's just poof, done. Number 6, we have the MonsterVerse entry, Godzilla King of the Monsters from 2019. Visually stunning, but the human cast wasn't great. I found it hard to connect with any of them or truly care about their journey. And let's be honest, there was some pretty cringe-worthy dialogue throughout the film. It pulled me out of the experience more than once. And finally, Alan Jonah. Just Alan Jonah. What happened to him? I want to know more about this guy. He should have continued in the MonsterVerse, in my opinion. At number 5 is Son of Godzilla. This one is often cited as a fan favorite, but I just can't get behind it. I'm not a fan of Godzilla's design in this film. He just looks way off to me. And I'm also not a fan of Minya. His inclusion and portrayal just didn't work for me. Overall, it's a very child-focused Godzilla film, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's just not what I look for in a Godzilla movie. Landing at number 4 is Destroy All Monsters. This is a beloved film for its monster mashup, but for me, it has its drawbacks. The alien antagonists are horrible and forgettable. They just don't make for compelling villains. And surprise, surprise, Ghidorah again is not intimidating in this film. He's even probably worse in this film than he's ever been in the Showa era. The movie can also drag on until the final fight. You spend a lot of time waiting for the big monster battle, and the journey there isn't engaging. Into number 3, we have Mothra vs. Godzilla from 1964. I'm just not a huge fan of Godzilla getting beat by 2 Mothra larvae. It feels a bit anticlimactic for the King of the Monsters. Honestly, for me, the film can just feel boring to watch. It doesn't hold my attention like some of the other classics do. And personally, Mothra, as you guys know, is just not that interesting to me in this film. Her portrayal here just doesn't resonate with me as a compelling kaiju. This is where it gets really tough. And number 2 is GMK. Yes, GMK. I know everyone loves this film, and it's constantly praised, and for good reason. It's a fantastic movie, and honestly, that's why it's so hard to put it on this list, because I can't think of any real negatives about it. This film is overrated for a reason. It's just so universally loved, and while I enjoy it, I think the sheer level of acclaim pushes it into the overrated category for me. It's a victim of its own success, in a way. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, my number 1 most overrated Godzilla film is Godzilla -1. How can this be? I know. It's the film that took the world by storm. But precisely due to the outrageous success of this film, it's number 1 on my overrated list. It lasted so long in theaters, breaking records, and Toho has been milking this film since 2023 with re-releases, black and white versions, and who else knows. Don't get me wrong, it's a phenomenal movie, and it's my second favorite Godzilla film of all time, a true masterpiece of filmmaking and storytelling. But the sheer, almost overwhelming level of hype and constant discussion around it that I admit to have helped pushes it into that overrated territory. It's truly a testament to its quality, but it's been talked about so much that it's almost impossible for it to live up to the constant and universal praise. I know some of these choices might be controversial, especially that last one, But what do you guys think? Do you agree with any of my picks? What are your most overrated Godzilla films? Let me know in the comments below. And I want to thank WB Draws for the request. And that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay big, G fans.